The following program is paid for by Beyond the Pink Ribbon. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views of Urban One and its management.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond the Pink Ribbon with your host, Nadia E. Miller. In a world where pink often symbolizes breast cancer awareness, this show stands as a beacon of hope and empowerment. With Nadia at the helm, we embark on a journey of resilience, courage, and unwavering determination.
Good evening and welcome to Praise Indy AM 1310 The Light. My name is Nadia E. Miller and I am your host for Beyond the Pink Ribbon, which airs every Wednesday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. We're here to light up your midweek. Look, can you believe it? It's Wednesday. We made it to Wednesday. But hey, before we dive in, let's connect. Follow us at Nadia E. Miller on Facebook and Instagram. Click like or share so we can make sure you're locked in each week and see and hear from our amazing guests. So today, I am excited. The person that I have with us today is no stranger to the show. I also, before I introduce her, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of tonight's show, which is my favorite organization, Pink Forever Ending Disparities. We'll talk a little bit more about them later on. Thank you for your sponsorship and your partnership for tonight's show. So in the building tonight, I have none other than Mrs. LaKeisha Brown. She's all things, but there's some things you may not know. So we are going to talk about all things business today. Mrs. LaKeisha Brown, she is the CEO and managing broker of Brown Key Realty. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Nadia.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It is my absolute pleasure. Most of the listeners that know me personally and see me around Indianapolis know that Mrs. Brown is all things Nadia E. Miller, LLC.
Absolutely.
But what they may not know is that you are a business owner in your own right.
Absolutely.
And so you have a lot of helpful and useful information. And so we're going to talk about all things business tonight with a little bit of a twist.
Absolutely.
And so tell us how Brown Key got started.
Well, I actually got started in real estate back in 2005. I know that's a long time, you guys, but 2005, I had the pleasure of working for the Indianapolis Housing Authority. I spent about 10 plus years in that space, really managing a portfolio of about 550 caseload. And then just kind of outgrown the space in a sense where people were just asking me, why don't you have your real estate license? And so from that, I understood that the Housing Authority actually had a program that would help people purchase their property. And then from there, I started on that journey to gain my real estate license from there.
And so after you gained your real estate license, walk us down a little bit to how this became more than a business, but it became your purpose and a service to the Indianapolis community.
Wow. When I received my real estate license, of course, I was still at the Housing Authority. So I was literally trying to plan my life. I was in my 20s. I had just had a baby who is now 18. So we were trying to figure out what is longevity for me. At that time, real estate was booming. And I just felt like there was a need from my service standpoint, helping people that were less fortunate, did not know anything about it, and to help them transition into home ownership. So I ended up starting my own real estate company by simply throwing myself a party.
Tell us.
I literally threw myself a party to get money so that I can afford to go to brokerage class.
Okay.
Because then it was separate. You had to get your real estate license as an associate, and then you had to have 2 years up under another brokerage before you can get your broker's license. So I ended up hosting a party called the Circus of Talent, sold out event, and from there gained a different type of skill that I didn't know that I have, which was event coordinating.
Yes. So under your hat, I know that with some of the other endeavors that we have, you've worked with schools for displaced families. You help them get into homes.
Absolutely.
You also talk about some of the workshops that you teach to not just families, but individuals in the community.
Absolutely. So I do have a program called the Home Project, Homeownership Made Easy, with the entity that I am currently contracted under. They allowed me the platform to work with their parents and work with their students that are displaced, homeless, or in foster care. From there, we started doing resource fairs. Literally build a great community of resources that I can call on any time. From there, I just kind of saw the need to help them in a different way, especially when they are moving place to place. Kids are missing school. What can I do as a real estate broker and provide a service to that entity? Well, birth the Home Project. Where I work with the teachers, I work with the families, help you clean up your credit, and also put you into a situation where you are now on your pathway to homeownership.
And while I'm there, how can individuals get a hold of you so that you can have a private consultation with them, or their organization or school to get a hold of you in order to talk with you about the services that you provide, specifically around the housing and workshops of that nature?
So you can follow me or DM me at Brown Key, just like it's spelled, _realty, or you can hit me up on my DM at Brown Key. My email address is lbrown@brownkeyllc.com. And then I do have a business line that is 317-250-7988.
Well, I appreciate what you do as far as the housing is concerned with the families that also under my umbrella that I'm connected with. So I know that it's a valuable resource. So, hey, everyone out there, be sure that you share that information as we continue on, because there's a whole lot to Mrs. Brown that folks don't know. So let's talk about event coordinating. And I absolutely want to start with our gracious sponsor this evening, which, yes, is an organization that I absolutely love, and I selfishly will plug them every time I get a chance here. But how did we start working together with the Pink Forever organization? Over a decade ago, I think.
Well over a decade. So it actually started from a phone call I got from my best friend. She was over in Cyprus, and she said, hey, I have an opportunity that I need your assistance in creating a event or fundraiser for Pink Forever that will help them raise money for their emergency assistance fund. She could not be here or present because she was playing overseas, and I just literally took on that effort and ran with it.
And years later, so now it is 17 years later, and that the fund that we raised, that fashion show at that time called the Simply Pink Fashion Show raised funds for, is now called the Nadine Whitlock Hayes Fund. So it is still in existence and it is thriving. But
Absolutely.
One of the things, platforms that we had that you used to help amplify that was the coordination of the fashion show, and which walks me right on over to Fame.
Yes.
I want to hear more about Fame. I want folks to really know that the hustle and bustle of what you really have going on is a service and then also a purpose and practice. So I'm going to give you let you take over the show here.
So I can honestly tell you, when it comes to opportunities, you guys, sometimes you have to just take a step, bid on yourself. Opportunities are optional as well. They're not guaranteed. They're
Absolutely.
not something that someone can say, hey, you specifically can help me kind of gain some momentum behind a thing. I kind of shortened it up, but oppos, optional, purpose, pouring into other situations. That just means that you have a purpose within yourself and a skill set within yourself that is optional to other people.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to utilize it to gain a relationship, gain business, but you can also use it for bad. That's totally up to you. But I choose to use my purpose and my skill set to amplify others' businesses and dreams and realities. But I also get something back for it too. I gain clientele. I gain relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I gain contracts, you guys. Like, that's what it's all about. And literally ports, possibilities of power for relationships, for talents, for situations. You actually have to take that step in order to gain that power and provide it to someone else. So it's a big feat trying to do it, but I did. And with betting on myself, I'm glad that I'm in this position now where I can choose to do something. I could choose not to do it, but I am very picky of who I give my purpose to.
That's good. I hope that everyone heard that. You can choose who you want to give yourself away as far as your services, your talent and your time and your effort, and also your purpose. I think that's really important because when you have a heavy load, and we talked about this before, you have to be very strategic, not just intentional, but very strategic about what you're doing and what services you're providing. And then also how that's, if it's reciprocal or not. Not all the time, but most of the time that's really important. And that doesn't always have to be monetary. It can also be in support. So I have been thinking about this for quite some time because, as most of folks know me personally, and with the new audience that we are attracting, that has been very supportive of Beyond the Pink Ribbon, what they may not know is how I'm able to do all of these things is that you manage my portfolio. Absolutely. So whatever's under there. And one of the things that you also manage, but you're also a part of, is the unicorns. I see the unicorns on there. Go on and give us that we're streaming live. But talk about the unicorn program as it relates to. You've been a part of mentorship programs before. The difference between that and the unicorn program, what is that to you?
The difference between other mentorships and the unicorn program, they actually pour into you, not only amplifying what your skill set is, but literally surrounding you around other individuals that have your best interests at heart, that also have a skill set that you may need, that you can borrow with, that you can do business with. It's kind of like your encyclopedia or your dictionary of business, of women, which has been very helpful for me to stay in business. I've been a business owner since 2010, you guys. I have not worked for anyone else due to the relationships and the people that I have cultivated relationships with through the Unicorn Program.
Mm-hmm. And you've been a part of the Unicorn Program since inception.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're going to thrive together right now, and we're going to thank our sponsor, Pink Forever Ending Disparities, for making this show possible. Those of you who do not know about Pink Forever Ending Disparities, please follow them on @PinkForever, PINK, for Ever, EVER, Inc., on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, you can visit them at their website at www.pink-4-ever.org. They have a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources. And so be sure to check those out. You can also give us a call at 317-682-4944, where our lovely executive director is Mrs. Lisa R. Hayes. So this is the favorite part of my show, is our power play. So our power play that tonight, of course, remember what our power play is, everyone. Our power play is, how will you advocate for yourself this week? What are you going to do for you? How are you going to choose you? And so I'm going to punt this thing right over to LaKeisha so she can give us our power play.
I am going to give a power play of get into an uncomfortable space. Force yourself to do something that you generally would not do at all. This is the only way that you can, for one, find out what your purpose is. If you don't know your purpose, this is a way to kind of really know what your purpose of life is. So get uncomfortable with yourself. Get in a situation I will never do 5 push-ups. Do them 5 push-ups, instead. Make a reel or, create you a IG or a Facebook account. Do something uncomfortable.
Okay, so you heard it right here. Do something uncomfortable to find your purpose, right? As LaKeisha said, it can be try something new around exercise, try to get out of the house, try something new to eat, but make sure you do something for yourself to advocate for yourself. So get into an uncomfortable space, and you might just find out you might be a comfortable space.
That's right.
And so a lot of times we go about very busy. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about all things business is because there is a way to do business. And it is not being the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
That's right.
It's really not that way. That actually becomes very, very exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, LaKeisha, you and I were talking about this a couple of months ago. Tell me how you prioritize your day with all the many things that you have going on. Tell me how it starts.
First, it starts with prayer.
Yes, ma'am.
Before I even open my eyes, there is a prayer that happens. I drink a bottle of water, literally before I get out of bed. If it's not all the way gone, it's majority gone. And then getting into the mirror and saying affirmations. You believe in yourself. I am powerful. I am worthy. I do say these things every single morning, even if it's not in the mirror. You can be in the shower, whatever it takes to really start your day. And then afterwards, I keep going. Once my feet hits the floor, there is no stopping until the day is complete.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to keep the press while keeping the perspective.
That's right.
And the unicorns that hear me, keep the press while keeping the perspective. That's a whole nother show. I don't have time for that tonight because we're going to focus on all things business, but keep the press while keeping the perspective. I want to remind you all to continue to do the things that help you thrive.
Absolutely.
Because no one knows what it takes for you to be you. No one. No one knows what you have to do to get up and get at them every day and to serve people. And so I want you to keep that at the forefront. Thank you for our power play. So I'm absolutely curious as to what you have going on next.
So everyone, I am the vice president of Fame Foundation. Along with Mati Matuka, we created this back in 2019. And we are literally moving forward in some great spaces and building our board. So if anyone is interested, please hit my DMs. Also gaining some grants and funding so that we can continue on putting fashion, art, and music experiences in front of people and allowing a platform for those individuals to be seen. I'm also in the space of trying to move out of state, you guys. We talk about this. Me and Nadia talks about this, but we are we have to expand. Indianapolis it has been so good to us. However, the other people needs our resources and our services as well. And then lastly is to continue on growing Brown Key as a national brand. I have several opportunities with the All-Star Weekend and the Sip and Marvel thing that we just did. We have some other opportunities for San Francisco and LA, so I'm excited about that. We have the Breast Health Summit that's coming up in September. We also have the Mother's Day Brunch that's May 11th. So we have a lot of things that are coming up. So just stay tuned. Brown Key _ LLC. Brown Key _ Realty or Brown Key on Instagram if you want to have any information regarding these up and coming events.
LaKeisha, I want to thank you. You are just absolutely a wealth of knowledge, and I don't just say that. You know that you have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of resources, and you absolutely connect people and connect resources. And so one more time, I would like you to give the number where folks can contact you.
Absolutely.
Telephone number.
That telephone number is 317-250-7988.
And your availability as far as when your workshops are around housing and things like that, are these by appointment only?
These are by appointment only, but I at least do 2 free events a year.
Okay.
It is something that you would just need to stay tuned or hit my DM, and I will be glad to share that information with you.
Well, again, thank you for joining us. Miss LaKeisha Brown actually is always in the building anytime I'm in the building. So I thank you for just taking the time to come on the air with me. I think it's really important that people know all of what you, the services that you provide. But then not only that, the reason behind why you do what you do, because you are a mover and shaker here in our community, and I appreciate you. I want to thank again Pink Forever Ending Disparities for sponsoring the show. Without you, this would not be possible this evening. Thank you for joining us. Now, remember, I want you to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Nadia E. Miller. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, I want you to visit our website at NadiaEMillerLLC.com. Now, listen, don't forget to tell people about Beyond the Pink Ribbon that airs from 6 to 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday. And I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thank you for joining us for Beyond the Pink Ribbon with your host, Nadia E. Miller. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nadia E. Miller. Tune in every Wednesday for your drive home at 6 p.m. on Praise AM 1310 and 95.1 FM.
The preceding program was paid for by Beyond the Pink Ribbon.
Thank you for joining us for Beyond the Pink Ribbon with your host, Nadia E. Miller. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nadia E. Miller. Tune in every Wednesday for your drive home at 6 p.m. on Praise AM 1310 and 95.1 FM.
The preceding program was paid for by Beyond the Pink Ribbon.